Welcome to another video. Feeling it today. From time to time I like to throw these sessions in which are ultimately impossible to do. So the session that I'm doing today is a Tabata style training session. So it's 20-second sprints, 10 seconds rest, times 8, so 4 minutes of work with 8 minutes rest and then 3 more times. So for a total of 4 sets, which is going to be an hour. Now, the reason I like to throw these sessions in is because it will allow me a chance to recognise and see where some grey areas are and some weak spots are. So the reality is, if I do this session today, in the next 6, 8, 12 weeks, I'll do the session again and see what the progression is between those two types of sessions, if that makes sense. What I'm predicting, I will be able to sustain power potentially for 2, 3 rounds, and then I'm going to start to drop and start to flag. But I want to see what the drops are on each of those 20-second outputs and if I can stretch to the full 20 seconds or not. So that's the session today, that is the plan, and I'll see you on the bike. One thing I will stress at this point is how important the warm-up phase is. So not just from a physical standpoint to obviously get your body prepared, but from the mental side as well. So even before entering into the gym, I have a level of rituals around how I prepare for each session, and I take great pride in that because it's something that I've always took with me from my football career into this, what I'm doing now. So it's getting everything ready. There's a level of excitement that builds up when you are preparing for those sessions. Getting your bottles ready, getting your kit ready, get your heart rate monitor out, get the music ready. And when it comes to the music, you need to have, rather than just everything that you enjoy, now that might work for you, but for me personally, I like to phase it through time and take clips from various different things and different sources to allow me to tap into my inner narrative for the reason that I'm actually doing this session today. Rather than just seeing it as a chance to work extremely hard, there's a reason that you are doing this session for the longer term. And it's about using your story that you've come from in the past and allowing that to come through to the forefront of where you are today. And that's a constant evolutionary process that you need to get good at doing. So it's the sounds that you hear, it's the mentors that you've had, it's the experiences you've had. And that all comes through in that warm-up phase, which is essentially what I'm going through in this part of the video here. So I'm going to crack on into this warm-up and get ready for the first phase. Okay, so what's coming up now is my first set of sprints. These are going to be 12 seconds. And the resistance that I've got this set on is 5. So, as I said, these are just 3 short, sharp, 12-second bursts just to get ready. What I'm also calibrating at this point is just understanding which sort of gear is going to work for me for power output. So I think for this session, I ended up doing, the dampener was on 4 or 5. So the recoveries between was also stepping forwards, so pedaling forwards and also pedaling backwards. But I think the thing that helped me in the long run was actually pedaling backwards. I was able just to recover faster a little bit more, and considering it's only 10 seconds turnaround, it made a big difference. Okay, so we're about to head into the first set of 8 sprints, 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off. I did want to recover pedaling forwards for 1 and then pedaling backwards for 1 and repeating that and seeing which worked best. But in the long run, as I said, the thing that helped me out the most was pedaling backwards between sets. And what I found was I was over punching slightly on the first 1 or 2. So the trade-off of that was potentially missing out on the 3rd and 4th set. So the quality of which was starting to diminish, but my whole objective for this session anyway was just to see if I could hold on and get those sets complete, in which I did, and I wanted to see what the output was going to be. So rather than me talking through each block of 8, there's different components which I'm going to talk about in the next part. But as you can see, I'm just hitting the cooldown here, and I will say that this was extremely difficult, but I managed to hold on and complete the session, which one I'm really proud of, but also two, I'm going to retest this in the next 30 to potentially 45 days and just see what the outcome is and see what the turnaround is based on my current training phase. And at this minute, as I said, I'm trying to build up this baseline level of fitness first before heading into a stronger foundation phase. So as I said, I'm really happy and comfortable with this session. It killed me, not gonna lie, but there was some definite weaknesses that I need to work on, but also there are some good strengths in there as well, which I'm just about to talk about now. So what I'm using is Trainer Road, and I like to use this in combination with what Joe sets me, Joe Parrish, as part of the High Performance Coach, and it works really well. So I like to see data, I like to see numbers, and that in combination with what Joe sets me from a strength and conditioning perspective, but also an output perspective on the bike, works extremely well, and it's been working really well for the past year. So this at the minute is what Trainer Road is setting me as progression levels at the minute. You can see that sweet spot, I'm pretty much maximized at this point. So what I did the other day was the graveyard session, and again, I won't go vastly into too much heavy detail with this, but I just wanted to get across my predictions to start with on the video, and that was to see what my output would be consistently over the block of 8 sprints. And as you can see, clearly what's going to happen on the first block is I overpunched it because I was fresh. And what happened was I was able to maintain that power output for the first 4 and then began to drop off for the last 4. And that's pretty much a process for what happened on the second block as well. So for those who don't know, the yellow line is obviously my cadence. So that's my ability to stay within that block and stay on top of it. And then what's happened over the period of these blocks is that I'm dropping off power as the session goes on. So from a basic analysis perspective, what I will do over a period of time is I would do this session in the next 30 to 45 to potentially 60 days and just retest and recalibrate what my power outputs are and if I'm able to maintain that power consistently for the block of prescribed sets that this session is. So this session is 15.7 on the progression level for Trainer Road, which is pretty high. All things considered at this stage, considering that I'm in this base level of conditioning heading into next year, I'm really happy with where I'm at with this. So going forwards, I'm going to retest this obviously and just compare and see what happens over potentially 3 times of doing this over this sort of winter season. And then I'll be checking in with different sessions as well and different stimuluses. So endurance, sweet spot, tempo work, threshold work, VO2 max work, and just using this as a great opportunity to sort of reflect upon sessions and where I've been in the past to where I'm going to go with these sessions heading into the future. So if you found any of that useful and there's anything that you're going to take from that, or you've got questions with that around Project Muscle on Wheels, then put them in the comment box below. If there is anything that you are doing at the minute which is working for you, I'd love to hear it because I'm fresh and early into this phase of doing this endurance work. So if you feel free to share, then just put those in the comments below. If not, thank you for spending time watching this video today, and I will hopefully see you guys in the next video.